Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to another exciting, riveting, and amazing Propagandacast with me, your host and Pearl Dane, the one and only Master Propaganda Heroes like Defender of the Fatherland, off you to a 1v1 on Faymonville approach. In the northwest, it is Mule, fighting for freedom, democracy, and liberty here with the US 2nd Infantry Division and Special Operations. In the southeast, it is Stana, fighting for the Wehrmacht, Germany, Deutschland. Here with Terror and the 55th Infantry Division, we got a total pioneer start line into double MG42 or more here. Double Scots, Weasel though for Mule, and a weapon support center. So like looking at some machine gun heavier builds here as we set off to Faymonville approach. As always, big hearty thanks to my patron supporters for the continued generous and wonderful support of the Propagandacast. Keeps making all these videos possible. Big thanks to those keep commenting and liking on the videos as well. Helps immensely with the YouTube algorithms. Also keeps the cat from biting off my fingers. And finally, a big thanks to May and me for donating and support the Propagandacast with his hard-earned money. So big thanks to you, lovely chap. So, MG42 on the way here for Stana. Goat on a boat out there. The Maddy Mule will be going for 30 cals here soon as well. And of course, we'll also like to upgrade we'll there with a 30 cal as soon as possible. Yep, 30 cal on the way there for Mule. MG42 team out there for Stana. While MG42 builds with Terror are still seeing play, they definitely feel like fell off a bit. There once people to an extent figured out how to counter them, but I also think in some cases people just probably got bored of them. But I think part of it's just, you know, once people sort of figure it out, it does become somewhat easy to deal with, if a bit of a pain in the posterior to deal with. Like, I'm not saying it's fun to deal with. I like to stress that it's still, like, even if you know how to counter it, it's not really going to be fun to play against at all. I know some players who definitely know how to counter it, but absolutely loathe it. So, second info to the Stana, 30 cal out there for Mule. Center there, we got the Scots like withdrawing a bit here, pushing forward to the Weasel and the 30 cal there, adding a 30 cal as well there to the Weasel. Further north here, Scots to the Pioneers. Closing in here, catching Stun in a bit awkward spot. He's Scots in forcing up, trying to deal with a potential flank at least from that angle, and the second will try to cover the fuel point here. And there you go. Pioneers, he could get wiped out if Stun isn't fast enough, he does narrowly survive there. Second 30 cal there for Mule. Scouts again ripped apart by the MG42. Now, the Americans also had a water-cooled 30 cal, which I think was actually overall more used than the air-cooled version. They even mounted it on vehicles, for example. So, bit of a quick note there. 30 cal there around, 30 MG42 the Vestania. He's going pretty heavy on it, as you can see there. Not exactly flawless stuff either. Got the southern fuel point at least, but without the cutoff point, it won't really do much good. It's more just there to deny Mule crucial resources. Grabbing the fuel there. Scouts popping out there for Mule up his base and replaced. We got the infantry inching forwards there. And getting the drop in the 30 cal, of course, courtesy of the cal bonus, it gets a 20% damage reduction flat.
Commander.
Got the Weasel flanking the MG42. There goes second footcast the Weasel. You see crossfire here on the Weasel, having to drive right past the end. So pretty much the only choice he has to, because always going to get stuck longer and found the arcs of fire. But by dashing right past him, he avoids that because, you know, he just gets through them arc of fire faster. And we see the Pioneers right there by the 30 cal. Not shabby there by Mule. Definitely caught him a bit off guard. Mines go from the south here. 30 cal there, flanking the Pioneers and caught by an MG42 as well here. Ensuring that Stana does, I think, have a good chance of getting a bit of fuel here over Mule. Got the Weasel there fixing itself up. The Weasel, by the way, was primarily intended for special operations units, sort of as like, you know, very flexible tractor that could also be used in amphibious areas, but the special operations units weren't keen on it and actually ended up with sort of infantry units who just liked it because, well, you know, it was, you know, fairly amphibious. You could, like, go places the Jeep couldn't. So it tended to get used, like, you know, as a Jeep for more unstable terrain. 30 cal to push back, Captain out here for Mule. So, bit of a fun story there about the Weasel. Got the info sets, got repairing, half check on the fuel, and the Luftwaffe company for Stana, very much part and parcel of most terror builds. You go for the Luftwaffe company, get Jägers, who also calls the camouflage, that goes together with MG42s, you get Panzerschrecks, and typically a lot of the other things, and then it does tend to involve a lot of just stalling into the King Tiger.
At your command.
Also, of course, 221s, they're sort of for that early like push, try and catch the opponent off guard, but they aggressively played armored car. They like to punch a Spielwagen. Got the 30 Cali holding up here with a bit of trepidation. Southside American forces pulling in.
No longer under our control.
These are there, of course, still conducting some self-repairs.
M3 half
Honey's
track
poking
moving to the line.
southwards. 221 almost done. Here for Stana. And Mule, of course, currently not huge on anti-tank weapons. Of course, he can upgrade his half-track to an anti-tank half-track. In was the 221. Technically, the M6. They're rushing there. Going hard at MB42 with his light vehicle player there. Catching there. Stana in a bit of a tough spot. Forcing the MB42 to retreat. 221 rushing in. No upgrade yet here, so they can't quickly counter a upgraded half-track here. Dashing in with the 221 following with a flak 30. Bit less than usual, but I'd say you still see some players obviously with the flak 30 if they go a little faster. But typically I find the MD42 Terror kind, I'm a bit more keen on just the Jaegers. But it also, of course, creates an incentive for Mule to like maybe somehow get some mortars up, maybe deploying them from his Weasel. Because that many support weapons is going to be a great thing for mortars. The second half-track for Mule. And first one, they're being upgraded to the anti-tank half-track. Thumbs up to that. 30 cal defender on the fuel, but obviously not keen on that part, being harassed there by his opponent.
Deploying
Rushing
engineers
northwards. And there goes using the anti-tank half-track calls as artillery. And I wouldn't be surprised to see the second half-track also being upgraded to an anti-tank half-track. Forms up a very cheap yet efficient sort of like, you know, tool that can both deal with lighter vehicles, medium armor, even to an extent threaten heavy armor. Multiplied artillery, I mean, it's basically like just, you know, a hyper-efficient HN6 out of Code 2. Really just can do a lot of things at an incredibly cheap cost. I mean, you can just go for a pair of them, and then can like basically go for the tank depot, whatever you want to, so... Very strong choice there, and it's definitely why I'm seeing more players after the many buffs they give another time really start to like go heavy on the M3 half-tracks like that. Dashing in, no abilities activated for the MB42s. That does help out. Mule get a bit more aggressive there. MB42 can actually get wiped out here. Stana, need to be careful. Jaegers on the way. Flak 30 is... Where's... Oh, it's down there. Bit hectic action here, so lost track of it somewhat. Also been used out, of course, and there you go. Flak 30 absolutely shredding the Weasel there. The Mule, actually, Weasel lesson up north. His 30 cal dick get pushed back here. Another half-track for Mule. He's going for a lot of them. Triple half-tracks. That's definitely kind of rare, though. Like, even for the more enthusiastic half-track users, they typically tend to, like, just stick to 2 half-tracks. And he cancels it. Okay. Melga station there for Mr. Mule. Guessing we're looking at SSF commanders to eventually pull the main infantry role here. Got the Jaegers out here for Stana with the G45s, of course their Panzerschreck on the way to help counter the many anti-tank half-tracks at a Mule.
It's done.
And first SSF commander squad out here, 30 cal versus MG42. We can do a bit of support up there, obviously. Choose one poking them to get hit with the anti-tank half-track and his 75mm gun. Forcing up here. Jaegers blocking him with that Panzerschreck. Gets a good shot on the anti-tank half-track, almost knocking out their force to withdraw here. And 30 cal down. Up north is the MD42. Both half-tracks, of course, in intense repairs. Fortunately for Mule, Stana isn't aggressively pursuing with the Jaegers, at least as aggressive as he could. And we got the commanders hunting out here now in the shrubberies. Alright guys, remember, just sound like elderberries. What do elderberries sound like? And there you go, caught here by the Flak 30 and the Jaegers, but the Jaegers definitely cannot withstand the might of the Johnson light machine gun, and then very quickly forced withdrawal. Nothing more happening up there, machine just parked up here, and this is denying Mule then a lot of fuels. This is a really nasty stranglehold here that Stana's got on Mule at the time of speaking. Might be setting up for a flank here.
Rating flares going out.
Straight up into the Flak 30, but that's said if he can get rid of the Flak 30, that would be pretty big here for Mule.
Commander.
Flares off here, captures machine guns. I mean, he's covering like a lot of the important points, but there you go. We do get a big flank around here. Joel's on get back to flag 30, and there goes double half-track barrage. Clears out the flag 30, so you can also see the appeal there of like, going for the double entering half-track. Again, you're sort of covered versus light vehicles in medium armor, and like, with a bit of good luck, you can like, completely obliterate a support weapon like that. There's a lot of, value and utility just in like a pair of anti-tank half-tracks.
The squad of SSF commandos has taken to
Second
the field.
SSF commander squad out there for Mule, Freedom and Democracy. People in flak pants for Stana, and of course, backed up with the commanders. I mean, it does mean Mule has an immense amount of anti-tank, tools at his disposal as well there, with the bazookas of the commanders and the guns of the anti-tank half-tracks. Very Swiss army like stuff there. 30 counter, they get wiped. Definitely a bit of slick on Mule.
Has been killed.
And we did get back the northern one, he's losing the center one to the Germans.
Reports of enemy movement near our
So,
victory point.
not the most ideal development there. Second infantry setting up here, completely ripping through the commandos, doing so much damage. And immediately dropping there, Bob and Roberts.
A victory point is
So,
under
a bit
attack.
tough here
We
for
must act.
Mule. He is not a quitter. Got the flag 30 moving forwards here, and of course having the flag 30
Squad of SSF
is a
awaiting
pretty
deployment,
big
Commander.
boost there to Mule's forces. Gives some further anti-infantry, of course. Also tool for dealing with light vehicles. Not so much the Vilment here, which is in Norfords. Got the flag panther and nuts in the Pioneers for the northern victory point here. Mule rapidly forces the
Players
draw.
ready to expose enemy positions.
Heading north to the anti-tank half-tracks. Machine continues to be dug in. Then we got a medic back there for Stana, going straight for the Flak Panther. Rolling in gunfires from the side armor of the Flak Panther, doing a fair bit of damage. Pitching up there, good target weak point. This is definitely not great for Stana, and certainly again highlights just the power of the Flak Panthers, not the Flak Panther, but the anti-tank half-track there. Doing a lot of damage, and with a target weak point, can make things very difficult. In this case, though, the Jaegers on the flank just narrowly stopped Mule, then prevent finishing off the Flak Panther there, but that was really close there. Machine also inching forwards here, very aggressive play of the machine suits to the ambush camouflage side of things there. Which again they get for free. I'm still not entirely sure why they thought that was a fantastic move. Like even in CoH3, that was like, both 1CP but also like an upgrade you have to like commit to.
Territory isolated.
30 cal in a bit of trouble. There go double halfers. Barrage against the MD42. Flak 30 there. Almost had it. So close. So close. Meanwhile, Stana follow up with the second Flak Panther here versus Mule. Well, north there, points being seized. Steadily. Grabbing the southern victory point. Now the Flak Panther they're getting ready. Get the half-tracks there fixed up a bit, obviously.
Improvements to our infantry logistics.
Advanced logistics is going to be, of course, a powerful upgrade there for Mule. It's going to make it cheaper for him to force support weapons and, of course, those commandos. Second Flak Panther's almost done. First one sending out. Like, of course, down here will now go for the Königstigr, the King Tiger. The triple cap here, Mule can definitely squeeze out Stana fairly aggressively here.
Advanced logistics will reduce the cost of reinforcing
30
our
cal there,
forces.
left a bit out to dry there. The Flak Panther rolling in.
Enemy movement near a victory point.
Then we got 4 machine guns now for Stana, one of which is a 30 cal. Heading out to the Jaegers clear home to bait in the exit half-tracks. But whether or not this baiting actually works, it doesn't like just cost them a Flak Panther is of course a really good question. There you go, Flak Panther down. And here the problem is for Stana, like,
You have command points
even it
ready
does
to
get
send.
one in the entertaining half-tracks. That's like a pretty good trade-off there for Mule, and of course, to make things worse, here, didn't even get it. That's a pretty significant blow there to Stana. And there you go, bazooka fire from the commandos there, letting loose on the Flak Panther fear.
Sector lost. No contact.
He's in trouble here, 30 cal, they also want to vacate the premises there. Stana still has a victory point over his opponent, but it's definitely being squeezed out a bit. But it's also worth noting they actually got a third SSF commander squad out for Mule. giving even more elite troops there to give the Germans a bit of a hard time, and almost had the MB-42 there again. Some pretty good luck there for Stana, at least on that account.
Get ready to kick some ass, boys.
Territory lost.
But he still has 4 machine guns, still pushing quite aggressively. He still has 1 flak panzer.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
And there again, forces once we're caught in a bit of crossfire this time between the commandos and the flak 30, but flak panzer is keeping the flak 30 off their backs. And something happening from southwards, Jaeger's still blocking the most expected route there. Smart play to Stana at least. In fact, almost cost him Mule 1 was entering half. He's got bazooka upgrades, so when there go, bazooka fire into the rear there, and side armor of the flak panzer. Flak 30 though wiped.
The squad of SSF is awaiting deployment, Commander.
Only some hectic stuff here.
Going out.
And we got raiding flares. See, providing Mule with more information. We got the Pawnee sneak up there, grabbing the flak 30, while Mule's eyes are set on the flak panzer. Sneaky play the Stana, thumbs up. White phosphorus almost managed to get on the MB-42. The Jaeger's in trouble there. Further up north, commanders caught by another MB-42, but they get past the aircraft fire. There's so much going on now. It's several points here. MB-429 keeping the commandos here. They're going to have to withdraw there, retreat.
Initiating stockpile of infantry munitions.
Entering half-tanks are getting fixed up. We got their munition surplus on the way for Mule.
Should be spent when possible.
Using the southern field for the non-pumpkin Pioneer. And there you go, machine gun combined again with the turn-setting half-tanks. Stana once more pushing back against his opponent.
Strafing runs are now available, Commander.
Got the P-47 loaded there, ready for Mule. And another flak panzer for Stana. Believing the German steel will eventually overcome the anti-tank half-track despite having the bigger guns. Commanders with a fresh push forwards. Of course, for Stana at this stage, I mean, he might want to tag up here, but with the kind of, like, strategy he's operating, he probably doesn't want to, because, again, he wants that King Tiger as bloody fast as possible. Whether or not, of course, that is the actual path to get out as fast as possible is an entirely different discussion. At least from his perspective, that's probably how he gets it out the fastest. Last thing there, hope we catch any commanders, actually sort of finds them there. Or maybe just really hates the outhouse and just, found something there. And the flak panzer there got wiped on the bazookas and the X-Wing half-tanks. Brutal push. Got the Loiter called in, which is an interesting pick considering his opponent's got, like, flak panzer and the flak 30. That seems pretty suicidal for his aircraft there, if anything. Yeah, that one made it, but that was about it. And right into the Railroad Goats, a big old Michael Bay explosion. But that's another flak panzer down there for Stana. Not really sort of casualties you think can keep up with. Whoa! 4 SSF commanders up for Mule. That is definitely on the heavier end, but with, advanced logistics and just the general power of them, it does kind of make sense, but it's definitely not something I'd recommend either. But in the right hands, that's really powerful there. Except we're going to make things tough here for Stana. Probably those shouldn't be playing his Wirbelwind that aggressively. And up northeast, and use push back here. We've got 342 to 390. Stana still has lead over Mule, but that is about it. Another green shot, and the flak panzer almost got it. Can he get it? Mule is in hot pursuit, sending the half tracks. Commanders as well there. Jaeger's got some blocks here, and he gets the flak panzer. Stinging blow there to Stana. His Wirbelwind is gone. Absolute brutality. Commanders in trouble further south. The MD-42 setting up a small defensive line work there. Up north, the commanders push back even as Stana once more goes for the fuel plants out the base. Another flak panzer for Stana. Despite the numbers he's been losing of them, he still goes for another one. I mean, with the current build Mule has, it does really feel like the Vibrant just isn't a great pick. So Stana just constantly committing to them seems a bit odd. At the very least, though, at the very least, if he's going to keep going for the Vibrants, he really should consider some armored side skirts, so they don't quite as aggressively explode upon contact with the front line. That's just my perspective.
Orders are incoming, man.
Even pushing northwards here. And of course, the question Mule is going to take up eventually. We'll have to see, but for now he's going for Soil Train to make his SSF commander, of course, even tougher. Which, of course, I think with the veteran fleet bonus means they're going to be really tough. They're going to be kind of spongy once they, like, hit veteran 3 with that upgrade. Go to the blasting headway, anti-tank half-tech up in the north in pursuit of the Flak Panzer. South side remains a bit quiet, but there you go. Stana fan picking up its machine assault's got a lot of mines here, obviously looking to protect against any anti-tank half-track rushes there out of Mule. Thumbs up.
They've captured a victory point.
What is Mule planning for next is a very good question. Tank depot, does he have something else in mind? Is he going to go for like a 5th SSF commander squad? That'd be a hell of a sight. There we go, rushing in. Boosted by the captain, the commanders come swing in there. Sergeant Joe Roberts letting loose. Jaegers routed.
We must take it back.
Flanking up behind here, but Stana, of course, all it coming and got machines in position. Oh, hits a mine as well! Absolutely ruining any attempt here by Mule to flank there. We do get a white phosphorus grenade down, but it's too late. Other commanders got breaking through here. Good commander push there in the end by Mule, despite all the setbacks. Machine gun forced to run through the white phosphorus. 249 is the 390 here of Stana, and oh, he goes for survival train again. Apparently cancelled for some reason.
The enemy is stealing our munitions point.
But he's back to it. Got the flag further moving forwards. Advance. Oh, survival training almost done, and there we go. Commandos could ambush the flak puncher. There we go. Good shooting there. There we go. Road training is up. We should be up.
We've lost a sector.
It's going to be less than great news there for Stana's forces. And we got those anti-tank half-tanks back in again. He bombarding all the cluster areas there under Stana's command. Got the 2-1 upgrade to the 2-3. Kind of forgot about that one. Doing it at reconnaissance. Making it harder for Mules to, like, really surprise Stana, at least in the areas where the armored car is. So thumbs up to that.
They have taken our victory point.
More pressure there. Go flat 30 again at risk of getting wiped out. Jaegers are moving up here. Catching the anti-tank half-track. Oh, he's not moving it. He's not moving it.
A squad of SSF is awaiting deployment, Commander.
Did he just... Yeah, he actually called in a 5th one. He actually called in a 5th SSF commander squad. Good golly, Miss Molly. I think that is the first time I've seen someone like go for 5 SSF commander squads. That is a ruthless build for sure. Catching then the MD-42 with some heavy commando fire. Doom going low to the engineers. MD-4 to the ace level there, getting flanked by the SS commandos here. A lot of pressure. Engineers not about to get wide. Ah! That was definitely not worth it there for Mule. Bad, I think, call there. Unless he had something else in mind that just didn't work out. Even then.
A large amount of command points available.
7 command points left for Mule. I think there's an actual chance he could end up losing the commands to take around too long. More commands reinforced. Remaining at anti-tank half to go beyond in the fun. Blackman drop 2-3 getting hit. Commanders they're getting ripped apart. No absolute carnage in. The 2-3 goes up in flames. And the flag 30 gets caught up in the white phosphorus. Absolute brutality here. South side. American force wants to poke in. Pioneering up. They're hitting the cutoff point behind Mule's back. And yeah, Stana there is going to go for the King Tiger. He's got the fuel more or less. I think it's the manplay. Just needs a bit more off. He can call in there against his opponent.
We have holes in our front line.
There goes the captain. Commander's Pioneer. Another push here with the 55th.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Königstiger slowly getting there. Just a bit more to go.
Victory point now under enemy control.
And more engineers there from Mule to replace one's lost. More White Frost and machine gun crew here. Got a total of 3 virtually 3 MD-42s that are out for Stana. Definitely not great news for Mule's infantry, that much is for sure.
Commander, we have Sherman Whizbangs available to hammer the enemy.
Bringing up the Whizbangs, and there you go. Königstiger can be summoned forth here. From the 504th Schwere Panzerabteilung. I don't really think they ever brought in any King Tigers of any to Italy. Stana's got the King Tiger out, also known as the Tiger B. The Tiger 2. How that might be explained by the fact even though it doesn't look like it was initially designed to like just use as many parts as possible from the Tiger 1, but as development proceeded, that kind of got thrown to the wayside and you ended up with that instead. Partly, I suspect, also a bit of propaganda. But anyways, Captain Machinery, there's almost ace commanders there, closing in on the machine gun team, forcing their way there brutally and ruthlessly. We'll have to see how Mule handles the Königstiger with just, you know, mostly infantry and an anti-tank half-track. Königstiger advancing, there you go. Good shot on the commandos, ripping through a significant chunk of the health there with a single 88mm high explosive shell.
Commander, we've lost a sector.
Advancing for the Königstiger. The Southie commanders putting up a sturdy defense here against the Germans. 210 meters of 361. Northie commanders went engaged by the pioneers in the Wirbelwind.
Back to full strength.
And we got King Tiger advancing right to an ambush by the commanders. Letting loose here. One commander squad takes an absolutely hell of a hit there, though. Almost gets obliterated. Down to half health already, though.
Contact.
Just the sheer volume there. 201 to 361 here. More damage to the flak pants up there. Is he not committing the King Tigers about all the damage? I think that seems a bit reckless. Now the commanders going for an advanced rush against the machine gun here. Trying to get their cover smashed by the King Tiger. And a commander squad actually does go down there. A stinging blow there to Mule.
Sherman Whizbang. Reports of enemy movement.
Falling into the Whizbang though to blast through all of those crap machine gun positions. And the Flak 30 thumbs up. Stana meanwhile bringing in more Jaegers. Possibly fearing, you know, some kind of armor coming his way anytime soon. Black Panzer rolling out.
Batteries, fire.
Likely just waiting for the right target to hit that Whizbang. Got the propaganda leaflets there from Stana.
200 points remaining on the front line.
King Tiger there being repaired. The target there, Pioneers getting absolutely splattered across the sides of the King Tiger. Black Panther striking, going to be ambushed with the commandos if Mule is paying attention. Yes, double hit there with improvements with rockets. That takes the Flak Panther more or less down to half health here. Close to it, almost got it knocked out already, like just massive damage there. Commanders to push back and narrowly saving the Flak Panther. Really close call though. The commanders who take a hell of a return fire. They're up north, machine they catch the commanders and scouts. Smoke deployed here to try and save the Jaeger's plot. Only to get rushed with the commanders, then in return get suppressed by an 874 team further behind here. That's it, the commandos save the bacon by white frustrating the crew. And there you go, commanders getting the drop in the machine up north here. 180 vs 350. King Tiger continues to need repairs after the previous repair team got utterly obliterated. and eviscerated. Flak 30 MD42 letting go.
Heavy fire! Can't move!
Sherman Whizbang awaiting assignment to your sector.
Machine holding up there. Defenders on the big point once more. And we got a freshwater heat out of Mule. Finishing still goes for them when they still like the Flak Panzer and the Flak 30, which can make very short work of his P-47s. Swing yourself so you can't catch the Wirbelwind. Let's try to. Whether or not it's Mule successful is, of course, a different subject matter entirely. And there we go. Now the aircraft absolutely just wrecked there. Double down. Well, that's definitely the case. The Hamper, that Loiter both went down. Going for that machine gun here, but we got flanked by the agency, kind of putting a bit of a problem into the air. Go King Tiger at the center, going for that Whizbang here. Stana strikes, and he strikes hard. Now the Whizbang out from you. Keeps pushing forward, got all those commanders he needs to be careful about, and I think Stana's pretty quick to catch on to the fact his flanks are heavily threatened by them. MD-47 to cover that flank in particular. Whizbang, they're going for it. Doing a fair bit of expect is a double Whizbang barrage against the King Tiger there. Doing a fair bit of damage to the King Tiger with it. But fortunately for Stana, Mule doesn't quite have the ability to follow up. And up north, the commanders here getting ready to unleash a volley from hell there on the Wirbelwind there. The south side entering after going for the rear hit here. I think, yeah, he should have loaned up that target weak point first. Half track down. That said, his commanders might just be able to finish off the Königstiger now. Up north, the Flak Panzer now made it. Captain down. Possibly promoted to Major there, and King Tiger somehow surviving for now. The Kupfstiel holds, but not more. King Tiger is down, munitions combusted. Part of the blow there to Stana, and a big victory there for Mule. And he does, leaving now Stana with no armor, no vehicles, an opponent with 2 Whizbangs. And a lot of commandos still. They might just about to get one of the commander squads there utterly obliterated.
Permission granted to initiate assault operations.
You boys are here. Ready up.
So that's some pretty hefty stuff there.
SSF, that order. Squads back up to full strength. We're ready for orders.
Sherman Whizbang awaiting assignment to your sector.
Okay, I was like, there seems to be something wrong there with the health totals.
They've pushed us off a sector.
So you can see there, like, the difference before everything else, 105, and then, like, you know, once the upgrades kick in, they get a lot more, you know, bang for your buck. This is to highlight how tough they do become in the end.
Lost control of a sector.
96 with 50 though. Mule does need something about this victory quite soon. Also surprised that Stana keeps machine gun this close to the front end with the Whizbangs about. Yeah, I think Stana there sort of wisened up very quickly. We got 89 here. Where's the 50 Mule? Green needs to get into this quickly. Doing his best to defend the north side at least. And there you go. One of the Whizbangs has been just converted into shell by popping the rocket pods there. Using the Jaegers to buy some time here by using smoke there to cover other pioneers to cover the point a bit longer. Start doing whatever he can to buy every second he can versus Mule. And I think he's just holding out for another King Tiger, to be honest.
Heads up, man.
Bit of a risky strategy, but at the same time, it does make some amount of sense. But, you know, it does mean he's just not putting out anything on the field until then, which means Mule has more room to, like, push against him with. to the north side. And they're getting... Black 30 getting smoked out there. Using the Sherman. Thumbs up to that. Machine gun team in the south in trouble with the SSF Commandos. 76 to 345. And some commandos hard to work with the Jaeger to get met with the Ace MD-42. And we got a bit of a standoff here. There's nothing happening there for some reason. No flanking machine gun, but there's another machine gun here. And there you go, Whizbang. I mean, Stana's had like pretty good luck. They're not losing a single MD-42 so far, despite Mule's pretty determined efforts. Get rid of them. But there he goes. Almost got the trouble cap now against versus Stana once more. Jumping caught here with the Jaegers. Going in hard on the flank. Come on, Fitz. It's the size of a house. Hit it. Managed to move with their second Whizbang ready. Sherman almost getting knocked out here with the Jaegers. Want to get the commanders in. They may barrage them with Whizbang.
Ready to expose enemy positions.
76 to 318. There you go, narrowly survived with that Sherman close call though there for Mule.
Supplies are cut off. We have holes in our front line.
There you go, machine being hit with the Whizbang. Minefield's been ruined as well there. Destroyed a lot of hard work there by Stana. And there you go, second King Tiger arriving here. Stana. We'll of course go for the V1 rocket here, but I guess he doesn't want to spend the munitions on that. Oh, well, there we go. He just went for it. But there you go. Second Koenigsegg out. Southside commanders here, letting use with Indy Fruit, almost getting the entire unit cleared out. 76 was 283. You also have to work there, closing the gap between the two. Command job, there you go. Ace machine gun team about hit with the Whizbang. Almost had it again, like incredible luck with these MD-42 teams down to Stana's command. Every single time he's almost there, it gets away. Not blame you for being a bit annoyed about that at this stage of the match. As you go to the Jaegers, command shot with the flat 30, which is still doing pretty good work there for Stana, despite that one brief stint as an American anti-aircraft gun.
Sherman Whizbang awaiting assignment to your sector.
So we'll have to see how Mule responds to that second King Tiger, though I imagine he probably was expecting it. Would have been very odd if he did, that's for sure. Man's going to hold the south side here, quick get the Whizbang in there to blast that MD-42 team in the center. Fresh fighting here with the Whizbang. Supported commanders deploying a nice white phosphorus grenade, a bit of Willie Pete. The center, south side machine withdrawing here before the Whizbang gets to do anything. Fourth Whizbang, obviously technically third since one Whizbang converted to a regular Sherman, but you know, bit silly there. And the King Tiger's going for it, rolling ahead here. South side machine team moving forward here, right into the Whizbang's line of fire. Commander spotted, takes a massive hit here. Machine gun team just sneaking right past Mule's nose there. That's the King Tiger dashing through here, jamming up north in trouble. Whizbang again, Koenigsegg. Turning to the MD-42 team in the south here. King Tiger pushing ahead. Stana wants to close this match. Closing fast. There you go, machine quick back. Can he finally get it wiped here? And that looks to be absolutely no. German going for the Koenigsegg. We got a lot of call in again. Now with just a single flak 30. It should be a bit hard just to shoot them all down. And even then, still gets one thing knocked up pretty fast here. There we go, another rocket pod drop, another regular Sherman now here for Mule. Commander's flanking in there. MD-42 team could get wiped out. Whizbang taking heavy damage. Jaeger's almost being taken out here. Finally gets an MD-42 team. Finally took him And 8. Oh, Jaeger's done as well. Panzerschreck drop. Things for Stana are rapidly now, you know, getting worse here. German going for the flank of the Königstiger. Whizbang rolling in here. Satchel charge on the King Tiger. Oh, boy, holy smokes. He got the King Tiger almost knocked out there with a satchel charge. Epic move indeed. 2 thumbs up to Mule for that one. Machine gun there flanking the machine gun. Whizbang firing out the flak 38 there. Actually exploding the anti-aircraft through there. 60 versus 222. MD42 team utterly obliterated. Jaeger's machine gun team's on the move here. Brutality is never ending. But the losses for Stana are now pretty grueling, and more crucially, I don't think he needs to just sit up for a King Tiger stall again. Like, he does not have the resources or the forces to like really make that work. So Mule, I think, with this has gained himself a significant advantage. Like, even if he's still significant on victory points, that could be probably at this point Stana's only real chance of winning this. I mean, Mule, I think, still has, at this point, so many other advantages, though. So as long as this doesn't, like, you know, somehow allow Stana to, like, just bum rush all the points at the same time, I think this is starting to look down Mule's win. We got another X1 over Stana, pretty late done, catching up in the whole infantry fight side of things. Pretty good spot there for Whizbang Barrage.
Defend our victory point. We're losing it.
Center they're falling to the Germans. Double Whizbang here, creating a rocket crossfire there. And gets away again. Getting the drop here, and the MD42 forcing retreat as well. We got 6 of 212. I want to get those SSF commandos back in action as well.
Task complete. See? Ground troops engaging across our line.
Got the Jaegers closing in there. Ace level versus ace level commanders. The commanders are low. There you go. Whizbang now to the rescue. And a white phosphorus rocket. A white phosphorus grenade and a rocket barrage. Not a white phosphorus rocket barrage. Of course, get on that northern victory point there. And the situation for Stana is really getting bad really fast. As now there's so many SF commanders both at east level, like just feeding Jaegers into it is just giving like Mule their free kills at this point. Particularly what the Sherman's about. Stana's late game force was heavily reliant, for example, on that King Tiger opposite to like keep things in check, and without it, and you know, the flak punch and everything else, like things are really just crumbling. And it's very difficult, I think, for Stana to stabilize at this point. Particularly since Mule now has, like, you know, 2 Shermans and a Whizbang plus all the commandos. That really gives Mule a pretty strong and flexible force that can, like, handle a variety of threats. But also posing a variety of threats. We actually got Stana now going for Martyrs. A bit late to the party on that one. I definitely think should have gone for a 2. Might still, of course, do some work. Might even give him the opportunity to, like, just win this match. But I'm not entirely sure how successful that's going to be. And there you go. Another Whizbang out for Mule there.
We're taking fire. He's gonna try to make a break for it.
Sherman setting out. Fresh row Jaegers, Flaks, and Machines advancing in the center. Probably not really helping Stana. He's focusing so much on the center there. So like trying to like somehow get a drop on his opponent. He's just charging to like where most of the guns are pointing, which does make Mule's job easier. There you go. Whizbang there, letting loose the flak vertical, almost obliterating it immediately. To the surprise of very few people here. At this point, Stana, there you go, got the margin gate, but again, he's committing to like these head-on assaults. He's definitely to an extent relying on just, you know, the ambush abilities for units to like just get up close without getting seen too much. But even that has its limits.
The victory point is under enemy control.
6 of us under 12. Six of us on an 8. So yeah, Clark continues to take against Stana. He still has a big 2-point lead, but at this point it's a much more academic one, considering how things are going. Lost another MD42 at this point. And he's on just 2 machine gun teams now.
Those guns are ready. Orders just came in.
Was that a machine he got back here from Mule? I think so. Either way, it's American again then. 60 versus 86. Yep, there we go. GG, game over. Stana, a stinging loss there to the German army. A brutal battle there with some great moves there for Mule. So, hope you enjoyed this match. You'll learn something from it. This is Imperial Lynch, cheers, and see you all tomorrow for another exciting episode. Bye, everyone.